What's going on, YouTube? So I did I put the Tein Flex Z Coilovers on the FRS. I just kind of wanted to go over and talk about my impressions, as well as just kind of my thoughts. First thing I'll start with is ease of installation. They're pretty simple, straightforward to install. It's nothing super complicated. You can do it with basic hand tools. You don't really need a lot of tools to do it. If you buy the Flex Z's, they have the top hats, so you don't actually have to swap over any factory components there. The next thing that I would say is about the installation process is make sure you make some marks on your camber bolts to see what they just to make lines on it, so it's easier to go back in. Your alignment is still somewhat close. I still haven't gotten alignment. I've had it on for about a week. Like I said, I don't drive this car that much or a lot, so I don't really need to go out and get an alignment just yet. I want to make sure that the suspension has plenty of time to settle, and it'll get a little bit lower anyway. Adjustability, adjusting the rod height is pretty simple, even in the car. Adjusting the dampening is also pretty easy. I haven't made any camber adjustments. I just left it where it was. The one thing I will say is, at least the set that I had, they were the collars were very, very snug. It took a little bit of force to get those loose. Messed with coilovers in the past, and they haven't been quite so difficult. So I really can't say for a fact that it's all Teins, or it's just my set, or what have you. The next thing I'll talk about is comfort. I have these set about 3, maybe 4 clicks in from the softest setting. They're not super bouncy. They're really comfortable for a coilover. Matter of fact, I would actually, we're about 4 through. I would go as far to say as these rod better than the Tein S-Techs that I had. Granted, the struts were blown. When I put them on, they weren't blown. Put about 5,000 to 7,000 miles on them, and they did finally crap out and started leaking. especially if it's something that I plan on driving any distance. And this car, like I said, I don't drive it every day, but I drive it on weekends. If I take any trips or anything, I take this car out. I just really enjoy driving this car. Another thing, I have ridden in cars and driven cars that's had some of the early Racelands coilovers. Those coilovers, I helped a buddy install those on a car he had, and they actually, the quality was there, and they were actually a really decent coilover for the money. In the application he had, there wasn't a lot of options, but Racelands did happen to make suspension for his application. The next thing that I'll talk about is handling. Kind of on a straight road here. There's not, where I'm at right now, there's not a lot of good turns and twisties or anything like that. Car handles better than what it did on the other, on the springs. It handles way better than stock, which is kind of crazy considering I felt like this car handled really good anyway, right off the showroom floor when I bought it. But handles really good. It's part of it may be due to the way the sway bar is. I don't have aftermarket end links. I have the factory end links. I actually had to, putting it on, I did have to jack up just right under the sway bar to make it fit into the hole that's on the actual coilover. But I feel like that may have a little bit to do with the body roll, because there's practically none. There's a entrance ramp to the highway, and took the car up that on springs probably a month ago, and it handled pretty good. I thought it handled really well at the time, and then I took it later a few days ago with this setup, and it was just worlds better. Once again, that could be due to the fact that I'm not sure if the struts were blown when I had the springs on it, but I know for a fact after I put the OEM springs back on, they were, the struts were blown. Would I recommend these coilovers? Absolutely. Like I said, I have some experience with some lower priced coilovers. These are obviously worlds better, but I would, we'll just say $800, I would much, I would really expect these to be a much better coilover for the money. Now, are there better options? Yeah, I'm sure. Tein has, some other higher end coilovers that come in, $1,600, $1,700. There's HKS, there's KW, there's ISC. But I'm a fan of Tein products. I've had Tein products in the past, and I've had really good luck with them. So personally, I'm going to continue to use them unless I find something better. If I do happen to get another coilover or upgrade in the future, I'll probably go with the Fortune Autos. They have, they're made, as far as I know, they're made, I think, in Florida. They're rebuildable, and they're just a really nice coilover, and I understand, from what I've heard anyway, that the customer service is pretty good. Don't know anything about the customer service at Tein. Never had to call in any claims or anything on them. They until next time, guys, have a good one. Stay safe.